Now, this is a popular thought process, and one that I actually went for myself when I was first started deconstructing the Bible about 30 years ago, where we looked at the fact that Adam lived in 936 years. Well, people like to look at that as far as lunar years, and thinking in terms of how there were some ancient American tribes who looked at years based on the lunar cycle, and they had lunar calendars, so they counted each month as a year. But that's not true in any form or fashion. No one throughout history actually counted 1 month as a year. The lunar calendar doesn't work that way from any of the previous civilizations. All previous civilization, including the Hebrew, the Sumerian, the Babylonian, all of them, they may have had 12 or 13 months based on the lunar calendar, and that's what a lunar calendar would give you. It would give you 12 to 13 months every year, but they still understood a solar year because, one, they still had seasons of summer, winter, spring, fall. They still had those seasons, and they understood a solar year with the seasons, with the 12 to 13 cycles of the moon within that solar year. So no, 900 plus years does not equal 75 years for counting Adam or anybody else's time frame. They literally meant 936 solar years. And they meant this because of the previous video, like I said, or like the gentleman who I utilized in that previous video was explaining how they were mimicking these kings lists from the Babylonians and the Sumerians and these other people who showed these great lengths of time that these people were ruling as kings for like 23,000 years. So they took on that same motif based on what they already knew from previous cultures, and especially from the Babylonian culture that they were captives of, seeing as how the book of Genesis wasn't written until they were in Babylonian captivity and during the time frame that they was out of Babylonian captivity in the 6th century BCE. So it's a way to try to explain it by thinking about it in terms of each lunar cycle equals a year, but no society that we know of to date ever looked at a lunar cycle as an entire year. That also would be illogical concern, considering the fact that they understood that each season, you had the 4 seasons in order to complete one cycle of the Earth's time. But good thinking, good thought process, but it still doesn't work itself. Still doesn't work out that way. It's just a copy. It's the way they copied things. It's the way they did things. They followed motif after motif after motif. And this is common with most cultures that were able to be in contact with each other in some form or fashion. But I appreciate it. I appreciate the thought. So continue to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibration. Thank you for the gifts. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the stars and financial super thanks. Y'all have a great day.